Okay, guys, welcome to the show. Sorry about the delay. We were just kind of catching up a bit. Haven't seen Kenny for a long time and getting things set up in the background. So this is a good friend of mine. He's been a follower of the channel for since it started, like 9 years. Um, he's got a crazy, terrifying, true, according to him, and I don't have any reason to doubt him. Uh, true
That's my
story.
witness.
Yeah, there you hear him. God is his witness. Crazy. This story stuck with me. He told to me a couple of years ago, so I want to have him retell it here live. And it's basically a story. It's basically an NDE, a terrifying one, where he's seen hell and all this stuff. But I'll let him explain the story. So, Kenny, if you want, you can introduce yourself quickly and then just start at the very beginning and try and be as detailed as possible, bro. And
Sure.
have at her.
All right. My name is Kenny. I'm 50 years old. Born
Damn, you
in New
don't
York
look
City.
50. Sorry to interrupt you, but you don't look 50, bro. You look a lot younger.
Everyone says that. Thank you. They say it's because I used to do music, so I don't know. I used to DJ, so.
Nice.
Yeah. So born in Queens, New York City, moved to Long Island in 1980, and yeah, this story basically started when I was working at Red Lobster in like 1993. And a friend of mine was waiting for me to get off of work. I want to say it had to be about 11. And when you work at Red Lobster, you have to like make sure everything's clean before you leave. And you know, the managers over there were so strict. So my friend's outside waiting, and he's like, "Come on, let's go." And I'm like, relax. We gotta, I gotta take care of my business. So he's telling me like there's a bunch of people hanging out at this house, a bunch of friends that I knew, and some people that I didn't know. But this is what we pretty much did every weekend. So it was just a normal weekend. And so I get off of work finally, and he's like, "Dude, you got to catch up." And he's like trying to hand me beers and trying to get me off. I'm like, "Dude, I have to still work tomorrow. Relax." So I was never the type to really go overboard anyway.
So you're going to a house party.
Yeah.
That's
So
why he was trying to tell you to hurry up and get off work so you could go to this house party.
yeah. So he's like so excited about this party because like we used to go to this house to hang out every weekend. But apparently this weekend was different because the parents weren't home. And so we basically had the whole house to ourselves. And there was like other people from other towns coming. And he didn't want to be waiting for me at Red Lobster outside. So, and it was already late. It was like, I think, like I said, like I didn't get out of work until like midnight. So they've been there already since like 9 o'clock waiting. Well, not waiting, but, hanging out, having a good time. So we get to this party. Everything normal. Everyone's having a great time. I remember like yesterday, if you can imagine, when you have something that's tragic like that, you always remember all the details.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so like I remember sitting. I remember I first get in, and there were the people that I were close to, basically sitting in the living room, on the couches in the area closer to more further into the house. Okay. But then there was like a side area where you first walk in with people I never met before.
Okay.
And so they were on that side. So I immediately obviously walked with my, the people that owned the house and all of my other friends, they're saying hello, finally, and how everyone's handing me this, I'm like, nah, I gotta work. So basically, and I only really drank. So I only thing I did was drink, and at the time smoke weed.
So people trying to hand you drugs and alcohol and stuff.
Yeah, but they're like trying to get me to do everything, like, but that was normal, because
you're at a house party.
We've been here for hours, and I'm like,
yeah, you're at a house party. I get it.
Yeah. So I was never the type to go overboard. So I'm just, pacing it. I have a good time anyway. I don't need that stuff. So I'm sitting on the couch, and there was the girl that owned the house. She was a hairdresser, and it's funny because to this day she has her own salon. So she still does it. And she's cutting, I think, one of the girls' hairs. I think it was one of the girls. She's there cutting her hair, whatever, and everyone's having a great time. And then, I don't know, it was like after a while, it was like the air just shifted, and even the people that were that I didn't meet before, that guy didn't know, everybody was cool. Like they're like introducing me to everybody, and everyone's like just having this great time. There's no drama. There's no negativity. Everyone's having the best time. So I remember at one point, I'm still sitting on the couch, and I looked to the right, and it started with just this strange, like I couldn't explain. It was like just a feeling of like fear.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like you just know something wasn't right.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. Since 1993, nothing like that ever happened to me ever again.
So you're at this house party, you're just sitting on the couch, and you get this crazy feeling of like dread.
Yeah, it would just felt. It was like, and
for no reason, like nothing changed in the atmosphere.
Nothing changed. It wasn't like, like I come from a bad neighborhood in Long Island. Like it's just as bad as New York City. So usually when things change, that's because someone's about to, there's like something going on. But there was none of that, because that's the reason why I used to hang out with them, because they were the cool crowd that like to just party and drink. There was no real negativity, like they weren't like my other friends that I know that were always carrying guns and drugs. It wasn't like that. This was more of like, they were like, if you kind of recall like the early 90s, like the house crowd, remember house music style, like, like what's that singer? I forgot his singer. Grooves in the heart. Like, that early, but they were just like hippies, like, like just cool kids. No one really had any negative. There was never any, and I've been hanging out with them for weeks. Nothing ever like this ever even came close. So that was, just was strange to me. Mm-hmm. So, and then I'm just, for some reason, I kept on like focusing on the girl combing the other girl's hair. She started looking at me with this weird look. And like just like almost like a devilish grin. So
what? There's a girl sitting on the couch combing a girl's hair?
No. The one that owned the house, the one that I said that was like the owner of the house, and she was the
salon lady.
Yeah. While she's in the living room with us, but on the couch was my friend Billy that was driving. The driver was next to me on the couch. There was a girl sitting next to him, but like in the living room, in the middle of the living room, she was doing the one that owned the house. She's doing this girl's hair inside like like one of her chairs. Like yeah, she had a chair, so she's in the middle of like the living room. And then the guys on that were like closer to the door that we came in was like almost like a dining room when you like like when you have a basement apartment that has like a dining room. It's a small house, because this was her apartment, but her mom owned the house on the top, so she lived on the bottom, by herself. But it was still cool because it's Long Island, a lot of people, we're all having a good time. And like I said, she's doing the hair and she's just looking at me with this weird grin. Now, again, we're all in our mode, so I'm not paying it any mind. I'm just like, okay, that's weird. So I look at my friend, he's having a good time, look over to the left. And when I look to the left, these guys are looking at me, the ones that I didn't know.
Yeah.
They're kind of looking at me strange too. And just staring at me. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Like, and I'm usually on point. Like I said, like a lot of times if things like that are happening, it's because someone's about to get robbed.
So you're having a good time. All of a sudden you get this feeling of dread out of nowhere. And now these people are looking at you strangely for some reason.
For some reason, it wasn't like the norm. Like it was just 5 minutes before that. Everybody's, drinking, laughing, telling jokes. And then it just got to this, like, as soon as I felt it, like I told you, like I just felt this dread, like just a real fear, like just something was about to happen. And I'm just now noticing. And then it was like almost they felt something. And
were you a Christian at the time?
I'm sorry?
Were you a Christian at the time?
I was, but not.
But you believed in Jesus and stuff. You just weren't like hardcore into that.
Yeah, I wasn't saved. Like I didn't get baptized.
Okay. Just
I wasn't
it's going almost like your spiritual discernment is like pinging and you're starting to feel something. That's why I was asking.
Right, exactly. And of course, at the time, I have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
So now I noticed. I look, like I was saying, the door that we came in is near the guys in the dining room area when you first walk in. And
okay, I'm sure he'll be right back. He accidentally dropped out, but I'll give you a rundown until he comes back. So he was working at work. His buddy picked him up. They wanted to go to this house party really bad. He's at this house party. Everything is all good. Everyone's chilling. Everyone's happy. And then he just all of a sudden gets like this weird sense of dread and fear that he can't explain in the pit of his stomach or his soul or something, right? And then he looks over and these people on the couch are giving him these like mean, weird looks.
Sorry, I'm back, buddy.
You're back. Yeah. So I just gave them a quick rundown while you were gone. I said you were at this house party, everything was going good. You got this weird, strange, dreadful feeling all of a sudden, and then these people started looking at you with these kind of demonic, like weird looks, like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And what made it so strange, it was like it was focused. I felt like it was just focused on me, you know? Like the only one that didn't have a look on them like that was my friend, the one that drove me there.
Weird.
And maybe some of the girls that I really didn't notice, but my friend was, everything hit with him was normal. That's why, well, I don't want to get to that part because that I eventually, well, let me say this first.
You'll get there.
Yeah. So as I look and I'm looking at these dudes now and I'm like, I don't know them. I'm like trying to figure this out. All of a sudden, the door that we walked in, because it was a summer night. So we had it, she had like a storm door. And I can remember like, because like I said, it was a basement apartment. So you walk down and then you have the front door, which she had open, but the storm door was closed.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, you know, to circulate air, whatever. And all of a sudden I noticed the storm door is like opening. And then it like as if wind was shooting down. Now, mind you, like I said, this is a basement apartment. So picture stairs that lead to a door. If there's a gust of wind, it possibly may blow it open. But I mean, to open up a storm, that's why they call the storm door. Because
was it windy outside?
No, not at all. That's what I mean.
Weird.
So but the weird part about it was the way it was opening and closing, it didn't look like wind. It looked gently like someone was opening it and then someone closed out. Yo, oh my God, I'm getting so much chills right now talking about this. So by the third open and close, I almost see dark entities, transparent, but like that's what's opening the door, some dark entities. And once I noticed that, I'm like, whoa, what is going on? So now I'm thinking,
what do you mean, Kenny? Like, did you actually see like dark figures? Like, can you explain that a bit?
Okay, so when I'm watching the door,
yeah,
the first time it opened and closed, I'm like, what the hell was that?
Okay.
The second time it opened and closed, I'm like, huh? By the third time it opened and closed, okay, I could almost see like it was like just a dark, but not how can I put it? It wasn't like apparent. It was very subtle.
Just kind of like a dark energy or a dark
like a dark energy, but it was invisible. There was no features. It was just like a dark cloud, but very, very light.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Like a shadow, kind of.
Like a shadow, exactly. But very even lighter than that.
Oh, weird.
But what made it crazy was now I'm watching these shadows going every time that door's opening, the shadow is shooting into somebody. So I'm watching it go, person. It goes into a person, choo, it goes into the other person, choo, it goes into that person. And I'm like, what in the, so it went to everybody but to me. Now,
just for the record, you're not intoxicated on any substance at this
point. I'm not on any, remember, I just got out of work.
That's right.
I didn't even have a beer or two, maybe.
That's right.
And yes, I might have smoked. Okay, did they lace something in it? I highly doubt it because of what I'm about to say. You know what I mean?
And you wouldn't get that weird feeling and everything too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and you know, my friends don't do anything like that. Like, you know, like I said, if I was with people I didn't know, maybe. But these are the guys that I see every week.
Yeah. And I used to smoke a lot. I don't anymore, but I used to smoke a lot, bro. Like over a quarter, like almost a quarter a day, like a lot. And I've never had anything like that happen to me.
Yeah.
On pot, never.
It definitely wasn't anything that I took, right? But so anyway, after that happened, now I'm looking at my friend, the only one, like I said, that was like normal, and he's still normal. And I don't remember seeing any dark thing going into him. So he kind of like, so now I'm trying to like have a conversation, trying to like, you know, what did I just see? Maybe it was just in my mind. Maybe it was, you know, maybe it was from the beer. Maybe it was something I smoked. I'm just trying to get my mind off of it. So I turn to my friend, start having a conversation. Everything's normal. Everything's cool. I happen to just look over to the other guys that were sitting that I didn't know in that area. And I telling you, to this very day, I remember I saw one of those black entities go right into him. as if it was like, and I know that he felt it because he went like it was like he was like whoa, you know, he did one of these and jerked back, was like, and I'm looking at him and he saw that I noticed that, and now he just looks at me and just starts hysterical laughing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm thinking, wait, is this a joke? Like, is there a camera going to come out and say, we're just messing with you? Like, I thought, like, now I'm like, okay, this is too much for me. And he's just sitting there, just hysterical laughing, just staring at me the whole time. I turned to my friend. I'm like, now the funny part is I don't remember I think we went for the beer run, obviously. That's what it was. Because I was trying to figure out something to get us out of that situation. Just so I can, because he was like obviously my best friend, so like he was the one comfortable, and it seemed like nothing was affecting him. He's still the only normal one. I'm like, Billy, I think it's time for a beer run, and you know, all right, yeah, whatever, something like that. I don't remember exactly how it went, but I do know
you've seen these dark shadows start shooting into people and then shot right into your best friend.
No, it did. That's my point.
Oh, that's the only person it didn't go into.
Yeah, he was the only. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I felt comfortable, and I was like, dude, trying to get him. Like, I'm trying to figure out how can I get out of this, and let me how can I say it?
Aaron was asking if your buddy was a believer too in Christ.
No, that's the sad part.
The one that it didn't go into.
The one that it didn't go into, he was actually
not a believer.
Actually, he was someone I was trying to save, but not only was he not a believer, but he was like almost like borderline satanic.
Ooh, okay.
And that's the reason why I never really, after finding that out, because I didn't know. This was when I was like 19, I think. Yeah, so like, 19, 20 years old. So I really didn't know him that good. But he never did anything to rub me the wrong way. He was like always friendly, and we had a good time.
For sure.
So it wasn't until I really started to get to know him and I started to really hang out with him more. And that's when I started, I was like, hey, I never really heard you talk about God. Mm-hmm. What's your beliefs? Oh, there's no God. Oh, if anything, I would believe in the devil first. And I'm like, all right, no more to him. So,
gotcha.
So anyway, he's like, all right, let's go for a beer run. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys are leaving the party now. You're going to go get some beer?
Yeah, and as we walk out, and now I'm not even trying to look at anybody. I got like my blinders on, like the horses wear. And I'm just looking at that door. I don't want to focus on anyone and anything. And I happen to just glance over to the my friend that owns the house, the girl that's doing the other girl's hair. Mm-hmm. She's got that same crazy look, and she says to me, "Have a nice trip," and winks at me.
Okay, this will be important later in the story, guys.
Yeah. And when she said that, I was like, "Huh? I'm just going to get beer. I'm not going on no trip."
Have a nice trip, and winks at you.
And winked at me.
Did you really even know this girl?
Yes. Okay. My friend did. Yeah, because like I said, we were like, see.
Well, I know you said you knew the chick that owned the hair salon and stuff. I was talking about the chick very day. Okay, I thought, is that the chick that grinned and said, "Have a nice trip"?
Yes, and
it was her. I thought it was another girl.
And I never told her this story.
Okay, gotcha, man. I
never brought this up to her. And maybe I should, but
maybe you should show her this video after.
You're right. I was just so traumatized from it and so scared that I never told really anybody, to be honest with you. I really just, well, anyway, so we go, we get in the car. Now I'm telling my friend, I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on right now? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like just going like, again, like normal thing. He was like, oh, right away he's going rolling up, like the minute we get in the car, and he starts rolling up, and he's like, yeah, where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't care. Let's just go anywhere. But let me ask you one question. You don't see these things that are going on? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I was like, you didn't notice the door opening and closing? He's like, what door? I was like, you didn't notice the guy sitting next to me that was laughing his ass off, and he doesn't even know me? He's like, yeah, he's laughing because he's having a good time. And I'm like, oh, I see what's going on here. He's not really picking up on what I'm seeing.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, all right. And now I don't want to seem too crazy. So I'm like, and again, I'm 19, 20 at the time, right away. Now he's like, oh, maybe it's because you didn't drink enough.
Okay.
These are the friends I have.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't take enough, maybe you didn't smoke enough. Maybe you didn't, after you smoke this, you'll feel better. And I knew for some reason that I didn't want to, it was like, I guess now my Christian side is starting to kick in, because I'm like, I really don't want this. Like, I feel like there's something not right about this. And, but again, I'm young. I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. I don't want to seem like a party pooper, So he's like, well, where do you want to go get beer? I'm like, well, 7-Eleven was like right around the corner. It wasn't too far. And I'm just trying to process all of this. At the same time, I'm trying to think about what can I do to get out of this situation, because, it was just very already like just weird, So we go get beer.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember. It was after, because that's right. Okay. We actually get the beer, and everything was still normal. It wasn't until, that's how I remember this. It wasn't until we were on our way back now to the house, and there's a road that leads to the store to their house. It's like it's this dark road, and it's not like rural, because this is Long Island, so it's suburbs. It's suburbs, but it's not like super creepy. But this one road, it's just the way it's set up. It is kind of weird because it's kind of dark at night. There's not much lights there, and it had this one blinking yellow light all the time, because either the light was broken or whatever. I forgot why it was always blinking yellow, but that was like the only thing you saw on this whole dark road. So I'll never forget, as we're going, and again, this is only like 2 minutes away from the store, so it's not like a long drive. It's just this road, and then it's the house. So as we get on that road, and I start seeing that blinking light, he's playing reggae music, the old school, reggae, and you're talking early 90s, so it was like all that was the stuff that was in, and he's rolling up the weed, listening to the song. He had I'm sorry. He had already rolled it before the store. He was done. We got the beer, so now he's smoking it. So he's, But what was so strange to me is that I did not feel like I didn't want to smoke. Like, now I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to go home, but I didn't want to feel like like I was like being a party
pooper. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to like bring everyone down, so I gave it a shot. I gave it a chance.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, we'll do this. And I didn't bring it up. All of a sudden, how can I explain it? That same dreadful feeling that I felt in the house of just fear came on me again. It was so overwhelming that I had to just like sit back. And he's now, and the reggae is going, the music is all good, right? And he's having a great time. He's smoking, and as soon as he passes it to me, I look at him like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And then he was like, huh? Like, all of a sudden, I'll never forget this. It was like we weren't even in the same world anymore. Everything instantly changed. The only thing was, my friend, his features didn't change, but everything else was off. Like, in other words, the loud music that was, he had a system, well, semi-loud system, but.
So when did this change happen? When you refused to take the hit?
Yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Right when you said you don't want it, you just felt everything change?
In the second, like a split second, everything just changed.
Wow.
And it was like, almost like, again, he's still normal, like his normal reaction, like, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what was different was now all of a sudden, the music went from going blasting to now I can't even hear it. Like, almost if I put my head underwater, and that muffled sound?
Strange.
It's like everything is muffled now.
You're good at giving descriptions. I'm starting to picture myself there, putting your head underwater, and I could picture that.
So now the sound is, there's no music now. Now,
But he didn't turn it down.
no, not at all. It's super loud. And that's when I was like, what? You know, that was like, that was the scariest. That's what turned everything into like, it went from me being scared to now I'm terrified.
Yeah, you probably think like you have a medical problem or something.
I thought I went deaf. I thought
yeah.
I had an aneurysm. I thought I had a stroke. I'm like,
Gotcha.
I'm just with my frozen. I sat there and I'm like, what in the world? And then all of a sudden, he had said something. He's like, oh yeah, you know, there was a guy that, you know, got into a car accident or died over there by the, he said something like that.
And you guys are still driving down the road at this point to go get beer?
No, we already got the beer.
Oh, you already got it, but you're driving back now.
We're heading back.
Okay. Sorry.
So I have a beer, he has the beer, and he's he just, you know, he's smoking.
Yeah.
And we're on that long road.
Yeah.
On the way back.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, it was like that movie, Final Destination, when things kept on repeating.
Yeah.
It went from like, I noticed the light blinking, and then we got to a certain point, and then he said something like, oh yeah, that person over there died or whatever. And then all of a sudden it was like a time loop. And now mind you, I can't hear the music. He's muffled as well. When he's talking, he's like, and so I can't really understand what he's saying. Now we go back to the beginning of when we got in the beginning of the road, not when we got inside the car after we got the beer and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It was like we're still driving the same way, but we already went through this already. Because I'm like, wait a minute. You know, it's just not that long of a road. We've been on this road for a couple of minutes now. And I'm like, well, and then all of a sudden, and mind you, everything's muffled. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
He says the same exact thing, but like muffled, like, and I see the blinking yellow light, because that's the whole reference to how I knew it was like a time loop.
Wow.
Because I'm seeing that same blinking light. We only have one light on that road.
That's crazy.
This is the second time now. By the third time, it seemed like, again, started there. Now, my friend isn't talking like a normal person.
Okay.
Now, he's literally looking right at me. And I get so, sorry, man. I get so.
It's okay, man. Take your time.
The chills that I get when I say the story. I heard him clear, not muffled. The only thing I heard muffled was the background song and everything in the background. Mm-hmm. But his voice was crystal clear. He says, I'm the devil, okay? And you're coming with me to hell because you're going to die in a car crash. He's literally telling me this. Like,
wow.
If you were sitting next to me in my friend's body, but I didn't see no horns. I didn't see a pitchfork. But my friend was just doing normal things, but what was coming out of his mouth was those words.
His appearance didn't change or anything?
I'm sorry?
His appearance was the same?
His appearance exactly the same. And then when he said that, now obviously I'm like almost now I'm in shock because I'm like, I must have already died. Something, you know what I mean? Like now everything is starting to come together. No wonder why all of this is going on. I must have died in something. Now I'm processing all of this. While I'm processing all of it, I look up. And the only way I can describe it is there was no more street. It was like the movie. You ever see the movie Beetlejuice?
Yeah, the old one?
The original one, yeah. Or like the Nightmare Before Christmas, how it has that like that creepy vibe to it where it's like almost fake looking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw right ahead of me. And it was the road was winding like as if the whole reality of life in front of me was stripped apart. The only thing that was there was the street, and it was all like windy, whipping around. And at the end of the road was a giant lake of fire. It looked exactly like the picture that you just put on the screen. And now I'm like, all right, this is for real. This isn't in my head. This isn't something that I smoked. This is really happening. Now I'm like, wait a minute. No, No, I'm only 19. I'm only 20. And now, mind you, while this is all processing in my head, the devil is just going off on me. He's like, "Oh, I finally got you. You can't do nothing. You're coming with me. You're gonna spend the rest of eternity in this lake of fire with me." And he's just going off, going off. And then all of a sudden, I just got this inner strength, and that's how I got it. Because when I looked, and I didn't want to face the lake of fire anymore. I definitely didn't want to look towards my friend and face basically the devil. When I looked to the right out the passenger window, I could actually see the street normal. Like I see trees moving, and as if it was, a normal in the car. So I just pinned on that thought. Like I just focused on that normal part of what I'm experiencing. And I just cried out to God with everything I had. And I said, "Father, please, this can't be happening. I will never, ever do you wrong, or I promise you, get me out of this situation, and I will do whatever it is that you want me to do." So while I'm doing that, now, mind you, I'm not saying it out loud. I'm saying it in my head. And I'm focusing out the window. While I'm doing that, now I hear Mr. Devil Guy that's taunting me and everything like that. He says, he starts laughing. He goes, "You're calling upon your God?" He was like, "God doesn't hear you right now. You're with me. It's too late. You want to hang out with your friends. You want to smoke. You want to do this. You want to do that.
Wow.
You don't have time for God. So now God doesn't have time for you." Now I'm like, that's not true. That's not true. No, that's not true. I have time for God. I made a mistake, and I just prayed, and I just gave it all my heart. And then all of a sudden, it was again a time warp, right back to the beginning of where we were on the road. I see the blinking yellow light, but everything's back to normal. And now my friend is talking normal again. And I'm like, "Oh, Lord." And I'm like, what do I do? How do I explain this to my friend? What just happened? And again, but now it goes like, now I went through this so many times where I'm now, okay, now he's going to try to pass me the thing. He's going to tell me about some guy that died, right? I'm like, no, I'm like yelling at him. "No, I don't want no." Like, and he's like, again, like, what? What do you mean?
I would have said, "Stop, I'm getting out."
Yeah, like I that's what I wanted to do. Like and then you won't believe this. It happened again.
Again.
The same thing happened where he turned into the devil again. I see the lake of fire again. I
thought you told me that you seen the appearance of like someone driving that was like a demon or something.
Well,
remember before the show you said this picture looks good.
Well, that's why I was trying to depict what I would think that was
okay.
far. You know what I mean? Like, I
Gotcha.
didn't actually see those features.
No, but he was saying all that and you felt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Felt that, like, and what's weird is that when I was looking at my friend, you can tell that there's something. Like, you remember how I was talking about the entities that I saw coming in from the door, and I said it has like a transparent black.
Yeah, but you didn't actually see figures. You just seen like kind of a shadowy energy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see that, like, in my friend's face, but I didn't want to really focus on it. You know what I mean?
Bro, I believe you 100% because I had a near-death experience where I actually died in the hospital, in the emergency room. I died and I floated up above my body, and I told you about it, remember?
Yes.
So I can just tell by the way you're retelling certain stories when it's giving you goosebumps and it's like hard for you to talk about. Like, I can tell that you're not lying.
I cry right now, seriously.
Whatever happened to you actually happened to you. I don't know what it was, but as a Christian, I believe it was. I believe what you're saying it was.
No.
Like, you didn't die, but it was like maybe God was trying to wake your ass up and get you on the right path before.
No, but I actually did die in a way.
Did?
No, yeah, because we wound up getting into a car accident.
Oh, well, keep going. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I didn't get to that part yet.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no.
Okay, keep going.
It was a loop. It was like this time loop. I'm just giving you like how it kept on going over.
So did all this happen again? Like when you seen the twisted road and you seen the lake of fire?
Everything was the same.
That happened again.
It happened.
How many times?
I want to say like 4 times.
Wow. So you kept having this experience where you seen the twisty road that looked like kind of
Exactly.
Beetlejuicy.
Everything was the same.
And then you've seen this lake of fire. This
Yep.
whole thing happened to you where the devil laughing, you're with me. And then it would just be like, boom,
identical.
you'd be here again where this picture is. And then you'd go all through it again.
I thought I was never getting out of this. Like,
wow.
I really thought that was my fate. Like, God was like, I almost by the 3rd time, I really felt like, you know something, I must have really,
died.
Yeah, and like I must have did something wrong. Yeah, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, the next thing it was like I just closed my eyes. That's what I remember. I remember I just couldn't take it no more. And I'm closing my eyes and I'm just like, God, I believe in you. I love you. No, this can't be real. This can't be happening. And all of a sudden, the next thing I remember was I hear like police chatter in the background.
Oh my Lord, you're giving me goosebumps.
Yeah, I hear police chatter but it's like in a distant, far, far away. And when I open up my eyes, there's a thing in front of me. I can't see anything. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, think about this. You were just at a party, and this was my reality. Like for the last, I don't know how long.
So the last time this happened, take us through it one more time. Just one more time. The last time before the police chatter.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Take me through it one more time before the police chatter. Take me through the last time it happened.
The last time it happened was.
So you're driving down the road.
Just
like this picture.
Yellow blinking light. And then like that feeling of fear I was telling you about. Mm-hmm. Now, if it happens 4 or 5 times, now it's like I'm used to it now, So I'm like, oh gosh, I'm like hoping that feeling, because I'm trying to like get like when it does turn back to normal, mm-hmm. I'm trying to get out of it. Like let me get out of the car. But before I can get even to talk to my friend about any of that stuff, now I'm starting to feel that feeling again. I'm like, oh gosh, and I'm like, please no, you know what I mean? Like this can't be real.
And this didn't feel like a dream. It looked as real as that we're talking now. It looked real, just like real.
To me, there was no dream at all. Okay. There was no. Okay. It was real. Like it wasn't a vision. It wasn't. It was reality.
And you said the road in front of you turned all creepy, like the old Beetlejuice movie, and then it was like a big, long, twisted road.
Yeah, it was just one giant lake of fire, and it literally looked like
at the end of the road there was a big lake of fire.
Yeah,
like this, right?
Just like that.
Wow!
And you could tell that road was leading. It wanted me to go right into that fire with him, and he's telling me this while we're going to that, And
when you say he, you believe this is like Satan telling you this?
Yeah, okay. Definitely, because he's telling me this. He's telling me he's the devil. He's Satan.
Wow!
He said, "I'm the devil." And I have you now. You're going to be one of mine. And you're coming with me to the lake of fire for eternity.
Wow.
And yeah. And I'm telling you, I will take a lie detector test.
Oh, I believe you, bro.
I will, I'm here on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Not getting paid. I want people to understand that stuff is not to play with. This is real.
And like you were what, 19, 20?
Yeah.
Did you consider yourself like that bad of a person when this was happening?
Absolutely not. And think about what the devil was telling me. He's basically telling me the reason why God's doesn't hear me or doesn't want to save me from this situation because I didn't have enough time for him.
It's important. Everybody watching and everybody that watches after this video uploads, which will be a lot more than the people are watching now, take heed to what he's saying. That's a very important part in what he's saying. Like he wasn't a bad dude. He wasn't running around robbing people and murking people and beating people up. He just didn't dedicate his life enough to God. Like he knew Jesus existed and like all this, but he wasn't saved. He didn't give his heart to God at the time. And this is his story. He swears it. He's right on God's name. He says this happened. Take a lie to take. I believe him personally. Anyone watching that has been through this would know that he's telling the truth just from the way you just from how it kind of like bothers
I'm like
you
right
from,
now, I'm feeling the trauma. And I
yeah,
haven't talked this in so long, so
from something that happened to you 30 years ago that's causing you this much trauma and, like, you know what I mean, goosebumps and upsetting you this much. Like, I fully 100% believe you. So everybody listening and watching this, you should listen to this guy, because this is a good warning to, you know, learn from.
And you made a really good point. I never really looked at it like that. What you said. I was just a guy wanting to have fun and party.
Yeah, like all
And
of
I
us pretty
literally
much when we were young, bro.
yeah,
Like when I was your age, I was running around doing every chemical freaking made, getting drunk, partying, being with girls, like having a good time. I didn't consider myself evil or like bad or like anything like that.
and I hear this a lot when people tell like when I hear other people tell their testimony of NDEs, excuse me, that you feel like your sins are exposed.
Oh yeah, big
Like
time.
that's what I felt. I forgot to add that in front of the devil. That's why he was able to know what I was thinking. He was able to know what I was, like like I said, I wasn't verbally out loud praying. I was saying it in my mind. And I wasn't even looking in his direction. I was looking out the window, and he knew every thought I had. He knew my whole life, and he just made me feel so naked. He made me feel so hopeless
I know
because
that feeling.
there was no like, hey, let's smooth talk my way out of this one, or
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He knew everything about me, and everything that I did wrong was just out for
for
him.
sure.
I could
You
not.
remember us talking when I died in the hospital and I
Yeah,
met God. I never met him in like a human figure or a figure. He appeared as a giant ball of light creator. And like, I felt like the worthless, disgusting, filthy human being in front of this omnipotent, holy being. He could see right through my soul and to the other side.
you
There's
see?
no saying like, oh, but I'm not that bad of a person. I don't hurt children. I never, did anything like this. You can't say anything like that. Like I knew I deserved where I was going. And
Yeah,
I was like 3 steps away from going to hell.
yeah, and
Yeah. And I knew I deserved it, and there was nothing I could do to get out of it.
exactly, and that's why he uses people like us to tell others that look, you don't want to be in that situation, because sometimes I get people that are like weird, like almost like jealous, like when I tell them these
Yeah,
stories.
that's exactly what I told you too. That's why that guy like Perry made a big thing, said I was lying about it for
Yeah, like
whatever, this and that. Dude, I never made a penny off my story. I didn't even tell people for months after it happened because I was so shooken up about it. But
I
like
didn't even
channel
tell the people
members
that I
kept bugging me to hear it, right? They're
yeah,
like, Nick, I
exactly.
want to hear it. I want to hear it. And I wasn't ready. Like I was processing it still.
You see, that's why I came on your show to talk about this, because honestly, when you told me you wanted to do it again, the first thing I went through my head was like, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But the Holy Spirit came right behind and was like, you got to keep telling people about this.
Yeah.
He,
Amen.
like
I
he
hope
was the
people
one.
share this too. After this uploads and more you guys watch, please share this and spread it around everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the main message. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I would love, I mean, that's perfect that you said that, because this is a message. This isn't like, oh, look at what I went through. Or,
Exactly.
oh, you know what I mean? Like, I got these crazy
Exactly.
stories. No, this is, hey, guys, God is real. The
Yeah.
devil is real. There's a hell. There's a heaven. I don't care what these atheists say. I don't care what
Yeah.
these agnostics say. I'm probably one of the only few, including you, Nick, that actually had that as our reality. And
Well,
you know
bro,
what? We really
I,
should consider ourselves lucky in a
I
way.
often say that I know God is real like I know water is wet. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how you
And
know those things is because of the things that you went through.
to people that might feel like left out for not having it, it wasn't a pleasant experience. I would not, if I could choose, dude, I wouldn't want to have this happen to me again. And like I say to people, maybe it's just because you're already doing good in your life and you don't need a wake up call. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's probably a better thing that this has never happened to you. Like some people
Absolutely.
say they died or went flatlined and all they seen was black. It doesn't always happen all the time.
No.
Right. So
No.
maybe
But
it's just because you're already doing okay. You're already on a good walk with God. You don't need to be kind of like slapped and woken up, so to speak. You know what I mean?
exactly. And I pray that this does if we can get one person to say, hey, look, if this brother was only just hanging out as a teenager, like most of us, just
Yeah.
hanging out. That's all I was doing. I wasn't at a black mass. I wasn't like, dude, let's go, do some satanic worship. I'm doing what probably every other 19-year-old was doing, you know?
But hey, bro, I apologize. I took you off of like almost the best part of the story. So like, what happened after the last time you went through this, when you
The last
finally came out of it?
to get finally out of it, like I said, I just closed my eyes because I was getting to the point where I really almost gave up. Like I felt like this is my fate and I have to deal with this forever now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was something that always was inside of me, like this can't be my ending. This, you know what I mean? This can't be, because I know I love God, because that was always the truth.
Yeah.
That's something that was always, like when they say if you take a lie detector test, that was definitely the truth. I love God.
Amen.
And God so loves us back that he will give us these chances, right? And that's what he did for me. And next thing I know, just by squinting my eyes and closing and think about how I love God, and it's true. He knows that I'm not lying, and I don't care what the devil says. And that was another thing, because I felt like, you know what? This is the devil here. He's a liar.
Yeah, for sure.
If God was saying that, I would probably like, oh gosh, this is it. I'm done. You know what I mean? So that gave me kind of a hope in a way, because I was like, wait a minute. This devil guy is not taking me to nowhere, nothing.
No,
I love
been
God.
A liar from the beginning.
And I just squinted my eyes and I was just like, no, this can't be. And then all of a sudden, silence. And I still have my eyes closed. I'm like, did that work? It was like almost like a hocus pocus, and I'm trying to do some magic. And then next thing you know, I just hear police chatter and everything is just weird and I can't explain it. It was like, now I felt like I was just reluctant to like why, there's something in my face now, because I opened up my eyes slowly and I'm like looking and there's like something in front of me and I'm thinking what, but I hear like sounds like radio going, like someone's talking on a CB radio, and I hear like people everywhere, and then I come to find out I just gently pulled whatever was in front of me off, and I see police, emergency, people everywhere, and I'm literally on top of this car that we were driving in, but in a way where I was comfortable. I can't explain it. I guess maybe the way the EMS or somebody there that was on the scene made me lay nice and comfy. But I come to find out that I had a sheet over me. That was what was over my face.
A sheet.
It was a sheet.
Like they put over someone that didn't make it.
Exactly.
Oh my Lord.
Now I'm looking like, what is going on now? Like, all these events happened. But at this,
you must have been so confused, man.
It was so confusing. You would think, well, wait a minute. Of course, if you see people, it's not true, because when you're going through that much trauma, the normal things to us on the outside that's not going through it. Oh yeah, of course, you're on top of a car. You had a car accident. Oh, those are cops. None of that was going through my mind.
Yeah.
What was going through my mind at that time was, what's going to happen next? It's almost like when you're a little kid and for the first time you I don't know, went to like some scary place and all these things are popping out everywhere and you're like, you never experienced that before. It was like kind of like that what I was going through. Like everything was just a scary, traumatic experience that I never experienced before. Now
it's insane.
And then what really started to say, okay, this is a relief. There's no lake of fire. There's no devil. Okay, this is good. You know what I mean? Like now I'm starting to think a little logical. No, this is good. I'm not where I was. Wait. And now, little by little, my senses were coming back, my normal senses. And all of a sudden, I will never forget, this guy comes running towards me. He's moving. And now everybody's running towards me.
Wow.
I'm like, of course I'm moving. Why is there a sheet over me? What's going on? They're like, oh, don't say that. They don't let me talk. They don't let me do anything. They throw me on the bed. they're hooking up all these IV things. They're just fanatic. And now the ambulance driver is like,
wow.
I'm like, huh? Is this guy like? I'm still not even processing what's happening. Yeah. So to come find out eventually, my friend was driving, had too much to drink, of course. While he was smoking or doing whatever, he eventually went to where there was and it was crazy because I never really thought about that. He kept on telling me about some guy that died over there. Like, remember when I was telling you I kept on going through that?
Yeah, your buddy and your looping.
Yeah, I'm literally realizing this as we speak on this live stream.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe that's when this whole thing really went down, because all he told me was he was driving, he was going to make a left turn, and there's like a it's called Southern State Parkway, and Southern State Parkway is just there's like it's a state highway, so there's like no trucks, it's only commercial, no commercial vehicles, just cars, and where this dark road that we were driving on, there's a ramp, an off ramp. So when you get off the exit, you're actually coming onto that dark road. He told me when he was going, some guy came off that exit and smashed him, boom, head on.
Wow.
He was fine, but he thought I was dead. Because, and he was, obviously crying and, ready to tell people that I was gone. And when the paramedics came, they said I had no pulse. On the scene, there was no pulse. I went through the windshield.
Wow, bro.
I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. Matter of fact, I got a seatbelt ticket for that.
So none of this stuff actually happened to you. This was all in the spirit world. You were like clinically gone when this happened. I was
clinically gone.
I mean, it happened to you, but it didn't happen like on Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's weird because every time I tell a story, I kind of like almost reliving it is giving me more intel to like try to even figure
it out. Yeah, for sure. I understand that.
This
is this is one of the most intense NDE testimonies that like I have heard in a long time, dude. This should be like go viral. Like this is I'm so surprised that it like we'll see what happens after it processes, but like this is a crazy story, bro. This is like one of the best I've seen and listened to. A lot of NDE testimonies, and like yours is by far like one of the craziest, like best ones I've heard like ever.
And I'll tell you, like after that experience, I went to college for the first year. That was my first. So that was summertime. Yeah, that was summer before I went to college, and that was so traumatic to me that we went to college for 2 years, and I literally was like a zombie there. I couldn't even like function normal for years to come after that. Like I was so and I was so scared to do anything. Like that's what I remember back then too. Like I wanted to love God and really do the right thing for him, to the point where I was scared to do anything that been like possibly that could possibly happen to me again. You know what I mean? So think about that. I can't even live a normal life. So it was in a way, it was like, great. I have a wake up call. It's helping me to do the right thing and a better thing. But at the same time, I could not live a normal life because I felt like any little thing that could possibly happen again. And what happens if I don't come back this time, right?
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So, like...
So you went right through the windshield?
Went right...
You weren't wearing a seatbelt?
No, I didn't go through it. I went through it, but I was held back by because I felt my knees were killing me. So I must have went through. My knees must have hit the dash or something.
So you were like dangling out through the windshield.
So I was dangling out, and I guess that when they saw me like that, I was nice and comfy in like a comfortable position, because I think they had like maybe even something on the back of my head. I guess when they were trying to resuscitate me, they must have pulled me down and had me in a certain way where they could try to resuscitate me and not make more damage. But at the same time,
a neck brace.
I I remember them telling me, they were like, dude, you were DOA. So sometimes even with those situations, you try to resuscitate somebody like that, you can actually kill them, depending on, how they are found.
Wow.
So that was my situation where they didn't really want to do too much, because even if I did have some type of pulse, maybe they would have, made it even worse. So
that just like for anyone watching and through the whole story that thought you were like on dope or like someone at the party like secretly dosed you with something, like no, you hear the end when you actually were like clinically gone and the whole thing was just like a spiritual happened to you in the spirit world. Like you actually DOA, dead on arrival, car accident through the windshield. That's what you came to hear police chatter and radios and like that's wow, dude.
That's what I'm saying. If I didn't deal with that part, I would have been like, yeah, dude, someone laced my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I must have, I'll be honest with you, like I had never had that happen to me where someone laced
Mm-hmm.
anything that I took. So, but I would have been ready to say that, like, just dismiss it. That had to be the case.
Yeah,
For
sure.
But yeah, no, it definitely, it took many years.
Wow.
Many years to try to live some type of a normal life, because like I said, I was scared, so scared. I didn't want anyone. I didn't hang out with no one for years.
Wow.
Like I didn't even want to like listen to music. I didn't want to do. And then it wasn't until God was like, okay, like he was even like coming to me afterwards saying, well, not saying, you know what I mean? Like I would feel it in my heart. The Lord would be speaking to me. Look, I'm not looking for you to not live your life. Live. You're okay. You don't have to be so, because I'm telling you, I was like, dude, I was scared. Is this going to get God upset?
Yeah, I bet.
My friends would call, hey, you want to go to the movies tonight? And I'm thinking, well, is that okay to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like second guessing every.
That's a traumatic experience, dude. I would be the same way.
So from 94 to 96, if you would have met me in those areas, like 93, cool Kenny, I was hanging out with everybody, normal kid. 94, and I think it was like not until 95 in the middle, that year or two, I had no friends. Just even in college.
Bible thumper.
Huh?
Just you want to turn into complete Bible thumper, Kenny.
Absolutely. I
don't blame you.
I was just trying to figure out what I can do. I mean, I even had a girlfriend at the time. We had a kid together right after that in 94. And I felt bad because we weren't married. Yeah. And I'm ready to even give up my girlfriend. Like, dude, we can't do this anymore. We have to get married, right?
Yeah.
And she came from a Pentecostal family, but they had a church. She was actually a church girl, but Pentecostal, and they were very, very strict. And
a lot of them are weird too. It depends.
Oh, very weird.
A lot of them are like oneness Pentecostals, or they don't believe in the Trinity or anything. So yeah, it depends. But a lot of Pentecostals are like that. They don't believe in the Trinity.
She wouldn't even let me go to the church, to her father's church, because she always felt like I was going to embarrass her. It's like, what do you mean?
Or he would embarrass you with his weird oneness, anti-Trinitarian tongues doctrine.
Oh, it was the worst.
Pentecostals are whacked out, a lot of them. Well, a lot of them are good people. Don't get me wrong, guys.
Oh, absolutely good people. Oh, definitely. It's not the people. No, not at all. That's why she thought I was going to make fun of them, because she was like, oh, you're going to see people flopping around. I know you, Kenny. You're going to make fun of them. I'm like, well.
I went to a Pentecostal church before I knew what it was all about, and like the people were great, like you said. I even got baptized in the tub up front, and then like after one of the church days, we went down to the basement and we're eating lunch, and I started talking to the pastor, and I started telling him like, yeah, I believe in the Trinity, and like the pastor started laying down all this stuff why the Trinity's a lie and blah 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 blah, and I just never went back. That was the last day I ever went there. I was nice about it, but I'm no,
yeah, it was like her father is sitting there going around the towns preaching to families because they heard that their kids were doing bad things. Meanwhile, he has a son and 3 daughters home at the house by themselves. The son committed murder at one point, went to jail for murder. The daughters were like out there, alcoholics and doing.
Well, his one daughter had a kid out of wedlock, so.
Yeah, well, she was the only one that was like she was the nicest out of all of them. Semi, but no, she was
I'm
always
not
like,
saying there's anything wrong with her, but like
no,
according
no.
to, if you're like a Pentecostal preacher, your daughter having a child out of wedlock, that's a no.
Oh, forget it. I was the devil to them.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I
Oh,
mean. Yeah.
absolutely. I was the
Yeah.
devil. You kidding me?
Well, Kenny, this was a great show, bro. I just want to
appreciate
end it so it's not too long. So after it uploads, people can watch it. But we
Okay.
can talk after the show goes off. So thank you, everybody who was here. If you guys could do us a favor and maybe share this video around, that would be really great. God bless all of you guys. God bless you, Kenny. Thank you so much for telling this story again. And is there anything you want to say for closing?
Yeah. I want everyone out there to just put aside everything that you think may, how can I say this? That may try to like, because I know how the enemy is. There might be people up, oh, this guy's not he's telling the truth, or maybe he didn't see that like this, or put all of that aside and really, really focus on one day, the one thing that's going to be inevitable. It doesn't matter what you believe in. One day we're going to be before the Lord. That's what's inevitable. Do you want to be before the Lord when you're unprepared? And think about it. If you're in that situation unprepared and you're sinning, like you were saying before, would really create, whatever sins that are out there that people do. And here I am just partying. And I went through that. And God was gracious to give me another chance. You might not have that chance. You might see this live stream. You might see this video. And that might be your way of waking up. And if I can reach one person out there and they say, you know what that person said really touched me in a way where, listen, man, if he was just a regular kid just hanging out and he almost saw the lake of fire, anybody, and what does the Bible say, right? We're all worth, anybody that sins, the smallest sins are worthy of death, right? So I just hope people really take this serious and not to where they're being scared either. I don't want anyone to be like fear in them and not feel like they can't do anything. Because like I said, that's kind of like, I guess the good way to end this on a good note was that God actually saw that it really tore me apart and took a lot out of me. And it wasn't for the grace of God and just continuing to go to church and do the right thing where the Holy Spirit would show up. And I don't know how other people experience the Holy Spirit, but I experience him and he's like us. Like when I say us, like you and I, Nick, how we have a good humor, we're laughing, we joke. God would do things like that with me and try to joke with me and things that were like as if he was like an older brother in the room,
He's got to have a sense of humor. We're made in his image. Like laughing feels so good. Obviously, he doesn't have a dark sense of humor, but he for sure has a sense of humor.
Absolutely. And
yeah.
it's that sense of humor that I would just be laughing and like saying, wow, that has to be from God, because there's no way I would be able to think what was just put through my mind in a way where it just made sense. And it was just that little by little by little. And it got me,
Laughter is definitely a good emotion, one given to us from God, as like just like love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you got to remember, he loves us all. He doesn't want us to see that. He really doesn't want us to go through that. But
that's right.
Sometimes we have to get burnt, I guess, to really appreciate what we have and, where we want to be. And that's definitely with God.
You can't know joy without suffering, right? So
that's so true.
God bless. Amen to that, bro.
And
thank you.
God bless everyone out there. I really hope that, they really, really take this serious and
I
have to be scared. Like I said, not fear way, just in a way where you just you want to. That's just another way of. Whoa.
There's the devil again.
I guess the enemy's not too happy about what I'm saying. How did my cat just knock down something?
But like I wasn't just saying that because you're my friend and like trying to pump you up. This is literally, if not the most, but one of, if not the most, like intense and best NDE hell testimonies that I've like ever heard. So this should go viral. It probably won't because of how YouTube is with the algorithms and this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but it should, because this is a very powerful testimony. One of the best I've ever heard. So
And I
Yeah,
appreciate you
I
having
hope it reaches
me.
more.
I always appreciate being here with you.
Oh yeah, anytime. We got to do more stuff together. I love you, bro.
Yeah, me
So
too. You're my
thanks for
brother.
watching, guys. You guys are amazing. All you guys, Aaron, Catherine, everyone that came here. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys on the next show. God bless everybody and have a great night.
God bless.